The U.S. women's national basketball team played today, and a little bit of trouble with China early, or with Japan early.
Yeah.
But they pulled away, and they won big. Okay, they haven't lost an Olympic game since 1992. They're going to win the gold medal. All of this is true. Breanna Stewart and, to an extent, Brittany Griner, who will probably play limited minutes, but Breanna Stewart and A'ja Wilson, they will lead the United States to the gold medal because there's nobody internationally that can stop them. They're just too talented.
Dump it inside and go to work.
But, and I'm going to give you this hot take, even though Chelsea Gray had 11 assists today, the guards struggled. And Kelsey Plum struggled, and Chelsea Gray struggled. They struggled with China's pressure, Japan's pressure, the man-to-man pressure, getting the ball over half court. You saw the point guards pick up their dribble a lot. They made risky passes to try to get it inside. They turned the ball over a decent amount. They were bailed out of turnovers just because the players they were passing to were much bigger than Japan. As you heard Noah Eagle say before the game, definitely vertically challenged is Japan today. So they got bailed out. But the guard play was not great. Right? They made 1 3 the entire game. It was Kelsey Plum made a 3 that rattled in and out and went in. And here's my hot take. You know how good they would be if they had Caitlyn Clark? If they had Caitlyn Clark, who's been able to break down defenses.
Well, you saw what Dawn Staley had to say yesterday, right?
I mean, yeah, Dawn Staley really, Dawn Staley's like, oh, she should have just said, hey, I'll give you a hot take. She would be on the team. She should be on the team. She would be the best point guard that the United States would have.
Should have said, and Reeves screwed it up because when it went bad.
You get to, look, we talked about the pettiness and the jealousy. Cheryl Reeve doesn't like Caitlyn Clark, is jealous of her, is petty towards her. The players didn't want Caitlyn Clark on the team. Wait, this is our team. She's coming into the league, and when we built this league on our backs, and she's coming in. So there's that stupid pettiness and jealousiness. But I'll tell you what, they'd be much better off with Caitlyn Clark playing point guard because she has shown you that I don't need to take all the shots. I can rack up 15, 17 assists. She would have been great moving the ball from side to side and finding the openings and being able to dish, and that's really something that Team USA needed because the quickness of Japan's guards, you could tell once we got once we got over half court, there were a lot of questions. Well, we want to try to dump it in, but it's much more difficult than we thought it was going to be. If there's anything they need, they would have missed Caitlyn Clark today. They really would have done. It would have been a game where first quarter, by halftime, would have been other people play, everybody getting off the bench, everybody playing a bunch of minutes. But I'll tell you, they needed Caitlyn Clark today, and they're going to wind up needing her as it goes forward because if you get this trouble from Japan, who is not a great team, how much difficulty your guard's going to wind up being in as the tournament gets on. Like I said, they'll win the gold because nobody can stop their bigs, right? Nobody can stop. They're just so good. But how much trouble are they going to be in? Because I'll tell you, I watched today and I'm like, I'm not feeling great about the backcourt of the United States after today's game against Japan. Because you could tell me, all right, first quarter, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of this. Okay, you get a timeout or halftime, you come back out, we're going to dominate in second. No, it was still Breanna Stewart pulling down rebounds, starting to break herself, court-long passes to A'ja Wilson, Wilson pulling down a rebound, pulling it up herself. That was the strength. But, boy, I'll tell you, the entire game today, I'm going, they really needed Caitlyn Clark today.
Shot 20% from three-point range. Conversely, nearly 39% for Japan. Yamamoto hit 5. And that was the thing, kept them in the game early on, right? Three-point shooting. And we're hitting them in buckets for a while, wide open looks. And that's the big thing. It's all rotationally. But watching this game after a while, it's like, all right, just dump it inside. Okay, you can miss. Get your own rebound. Put it back up. You can miss. That's fine. Because there's nobody there that's going to contend with you. And you're going to have very few of your opponents that are going to be able to even become close to matching the size. So it really just becomes a version of the old NBA style of, all right, let's dump it down to the bigs. And Breanna Stewart and A'ja Wilson should be able to just dominate from pillar to post throughout this competition. And you'll get better guard play, I would suspect. Here it was, you had some hot shooting early on that kept it close, and then eventually you just pull away. Size and depth.
Yeah, and look, it's not to the point where the United States men's team is where Other nations have gotten so good in the last few years, and the rules, the international rules, really are against what the men try to do. It's still to a point where our women's team, we can roll out our best players and stomp on other countries.
Yeah, it's still a 26-point burial.
But I'm telling you, it was a little closer than it should. They stayed closer than you thought it would be
early on, sure.
And it was trouble. They couldn't just dump the ball in because the guards had trouble, and they weren't threat shooting the ball. They didn't try to get to the rim. It was really need her in this game. She doesn't even take a three. Just try to get to the rim. She's find somebody open. You see the kind of pass she has. A reason she leads WNBA in assists.
The other thing they needed her for is the fact that they played to a half-empty arena.
Would have been full.
As a bunch of folks,
would have been full.
I forget who it was on Twitter earlier, pointed out, like they actually played to fewer people than pretty much every other women's basketball game has in the tournament thus far.
What do you got, Frostberg?
I got a better solution, guys, than Caitlyn Clark.
Who's that?
Okay.
They should go get Jason Tatum. I hear he's looking for minutes.
Wow.
Can he bring Halliburton with him? That would solve their problem.
Well,
in the
with
backcourt.
the point guard, yeah.
If I'm not playing, I'm playing here. I can play. I'm on the Olympic team, right? I can play. Hey, Jason, how you doing? We signed this? All right, that's great. Go in. You're going to play. You're play wherever you want. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. And two big stories from the Olympics today. One's a kind of continuation of what we talked about a few minutes ago. We talked about how, hey, look, I'll give you a hot take. U.S. women's national team could have used Caitlyn Clark today. All right, the backcourt was very suspect. The bigs were able to do it. They're going to do it for us and win another gold medal. But it was kind of difficult watching them struggle, bring the ball up, and
First
find
half was
the right
a
play.
struggle bus kind of thing, and
Yeah.
and certainly eventually had a 30 rebound margin.
But you mentioned Dawn Staley's comments, South Carolina head coach, who said, hey, if we were evaluating now instead of when the season first started, yeah, Caitlyn Clark would be a strong candidate for the team. In other words, she doesn't want to say she'd be on the team, but, hey, if they evaluated, she'd be a strong candidate for the team, which is great. But, and again, and I go back to this because I can't believe more people don't bring this up, but that's okay, is that mainly every year since 1996, right, last time the U.S. women's national team won the gold medal, all the gold medal run here, almost every year, the U.S. women's team takes the top pick in the draft to the Olympics, and they don't have time to spend with the national team, but they take them. Diana Taurasi, they did it for her. She's 42. Did it for Diana Taurasi. They did it for Rebecca Lobo. Did it for Candace Parker. Did it for Brianna Stewart. So almost every year, the last 25 years, they've taken the number one rookie. But this year we're not going to take Caitlyn Clark. Yeah, that's pettiness and jealousy because they take almost every time. They take the top rookie because that's kind of what you do. Hey, you're going to be the face of women's basketball, going to get used to international competition here. You'll play a smaller role. No one's going to care how much Caitlyn Clark plays or doesn't play in the Olympics.
But that's what they said. People would be mad
as
that
long
she
as
didn't play a lot.
As long as she played, people wouldn't care.
As long as she didn't get Tatumed?
No one cares. As long as hey, you're a DNP-CD, Caitlyn. Just wave that towel on the bench, all right? But no one would care. She could come off the bench. She could start. It wouldn't matter. But they always took the rookie. They always took the number one player. But no, because we're not going to take her because we're going to be petty and we're going to be jealous. And that the coach hates her, doesn't want her on the team. She's been the most vocal. Every time she seems to say things, it's very anti-Caitlyn Clark. So what else do you want? I mean, really, this is why she's not there. She's not there. They could have taken her because they normally do, but they didn't.